Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Tim. Decided I'm going to try to do a little wood burning since I can't do a whole lot of carving with my thumb the way it is. And yes, I had a little mishap with the table saw. I still got the thumb. I know it's not in a jar. It's just underneath this bandage healing up. So today I thought I would work on decorating some of these poppies for our American Legion post for Veterans Day that's coming up. Figured I'd come in here and wood burn them just to make them look pretty. Kind of like this one here. Get the dust off of it. It's not bad. It's a big one. It's about 2.5 inches across. This is about a little over 2 inches. Decided to make these after watching Roy's timber art up there. We call it Veterans Day here. Over there in Great Britain, they call it Remembrance Day. And Roy's been doing a lot of them. If you haven't checked him out, I'll put a link down here in the bottom. He does pretty good work. Does a lot of Celtic carvings too. And those are really beautiful. I got this thing set up to about 530 degrees. And it's got that round tip on there. And I really like it because it flows pretty smooth. It doesn't catch on anything hardly. Like anything else wood burning, you have to take your time on it. Now, I don't know if I had a video of me carving these things, but what I did is I shaped it out on the scroll saw, and I carved them out with the Dremel using the taper bit mostly. A little bit of the flame burr, but I used the taper burr. And then for the middle, I got a large bowl burr, and I just kind of sat that down on there to try to shape that up after the fact. And then I used a fine detail taper burr, and then I used some flat-topped diamond burr, carbide diamond, to give the effect underneath there of the petals flowing underneath each other. Alright, that one went kind of straight, but he's not too bad. Doesn't look too bad. Tell me what you think. So I got a bunch of things to burn today. The next thing is this Luther Rose. And I'm going to try to do it. It's painted already, probably not a good thing to do, but I do have my fan on, so you hear that in the background. It is burning through the paint. Those are all just pencil lines on there. If you're not familiar with the Luther Rose, it's a symbol of the Lutheran Church that we've had for eons. It helps commemorate Martin Luther, who was the great reformer of the Catholic Church. And because of his Reformation items, all the theses that he tacked up on the doors of the church, is where the Lutheran Church has come from, and which has basically is the granddaddy of all the Protestant religions out there. They've all pretty much come from the Catholic Church, And each one of the little different religious sects, Methodists, Baptists, Pentecostals, and they've all come about off of what the Lutheran Church started as. Well, Martin Luther, I don't know if you know it, but he was basically excommunicated from the Catholic Church because of his beliefs that the big one was selling indulgence. I mean, there was 97 theses. The reasons that they said they were doing wrong according to Scripture. The big one that triggered a lot of that was the selling of indulgences. If you ever get a chance, get the black and white version of the movie Martin Luther. You can find him on Plex or maybe any of your other streaming services. It tells a pretty good story of his life, what he went through, and the trials he went through with the church. So it's a pretty interesting movie. I probably shouldn't have painted this before I decided to burn them, but it's like my tip doesn't get hot enough to burn through that paint. Acrylic paint is not that good. So, and if you're wondering about this big old bandage on my right thumb, because of this big old job site table saw. The saw didn't malfunction. It was me. I was the malfunction. And I came in contact with the blade while it was still spinning. Boneheaded move on my part, but it happens. But I was lucky. Didn't get the bone was exposed, but the blade didn't get to the bone. And X-rays showed there was no damage to the bone. No damage to any tendons. No damage to anything except the fleshy part of my thumb. This part here. So, all things being said, it could have been a lot worse. Could have lost the tip of my thumb. Still have use of my hand. Only function I have that's limited is where I'd have to use my thumb for something. The wood that this is on is aspen wood. It's a softwood. It's a little bit harder than basswood. I don't think this is hot enough. I'm up to almost 600 degrees now. Or maybe I should take a little file and clean this off there so I can get to the wood. I think I'll try that. Let me go off camera here and get that, see if that can make this burn a little bit better. I'm not happy with the way this thing is burning through that paint. I'll be back. Sorry if I was off center earlier. Special warning, this is a riffler file. They're bent like that, and they come with various. This is a round one. It's real fine. They also come with some that are triangular shaped. Triangular shape, so you can just get them into the grooves. Excuse me. It's a little chilly out in the garage today. Perhaps if I score this with the file, I can get in there and get a better burn, get some of that paint out of the way. And who knows, after I'm done and I get all the pencil marks cleaned up, I might just go over it with a Sharpie. This is the last thing I have to do on this. I'm trying to get it ready for Sunday, which in the Lutheran Church is known as Reformation Sunday. Remember the day, the great day of defiance against the leaders of the church. See, back in those days, back in 17th century, back in 1680, I think it was, somewhere around that time, the leaders of the church were getting rich by people selling indulgences. They'd have a vendor go out there, set them up, and then the people would buy them to try to ensure that their loved ones would get into heaven. You know, they buy them in the name of their loved ones. You know, it's kind of like carbon credits, only for sin. But that all comes out in that movie I mentioned. So we just got to... Okay, and there we go. I got them all burned in. And if I can find my eraser, try to get rid of some pencil marks, and hopefully it'll be presentable. That's not too bad. Let's use my hand. I don't really mean to block the camera. There. That's not looking too bad, considering it was all done by hand and or with a Dremel, but there was no computer aided graphics or anything with it. Very good. All right, take care everyone. Love you and God bless. Bye.